Hi guys, and welcome to A Dog's Soul, an impulse guide to your dog's feelings. Today, we're gonna talk about how to train a dog not to react to everything. So stay tuned and have fun. Okay, so dogs who react to everything, and that can be inside or outside, are really tough to live with, let's be honest, because their reactions are very often very loud or perceived dangerous for us. So if we have a dog who reacts whenever we do something, it's mostly the dog trying to tell us, don't come closer, don't do that to me, don't whatever, or go away. And this often looks frightening to us. And sometimes it is, sometimes more or less. And there are also dogs who don't react to us or what we do, but to every stimulus they hear or see. Some only to outside things, so they are fine at home, and some even react at home. And when it's that bad, it's really tricky. It doesn't matter if the reaction is barking, growling, lunging, jumping over things, running like crazy. Those are all behaviors that are stressful for us, especially when we are sensitive or empathetic. And what I see often is that people try to address every situation and try to get the dog to stop barking at other dogs and stop lunging at people and stop chasing after squirrels and stop digging and stop barking at the wind and whatever. But most of the time, there is one or multiple underlying issues. Because a dog that is just in reactive mode all the time has an issue with stress. It's the same with us. If our stress level is too high, we start getting upset in the car, we start getting upset on the train, we start getting upset when we talk to colleagues very easily, we take things personally we don't usually take personally, and we yell at the weatherman because it's just another rainy day or whatever. We get agitated very easily. For our dogs, it's the same thing. When the stress level is too high, they also get agitated very easily. So what we have to do is decrease the stress level. And that sounds very easy, and most of the time it's not, because first we have to find out why our dogs are stressed. And I recently worked with a dog who moved from a very quiet living area to a city, and that was, of course, overwhelming. But he also lost his garden, so the chance to run around. The apartment was in a building that's very loud, directly next to a very busy street, not in terms of cars, but people and dogs walking by all the time. And then the dog met about, I would say, in half an hour, 15 or even more dogs and people, compared to before when he met one person a month and no dogs. And the owner was really lovely, and she really tried her best with the dog, and she had learned that she had to be strict and she had to follow up with whatever she wanted from the dog and stuff like that. But in a stressed dog, this can also increase stress. it can always increase stress, but in an already stressed dog, this can just be too much. So what we did was we put a film on the windows so the dog couldn't see what's going on outside anymore, because he was always looking for new triggers. Dogs get almost addicted to stuff like that. Happens a lot with herding dogs. This was no herding dog, but it still happened to him. And those dogs get so used to this hormone rush they get when they react that they start looking for triggers. So we covered the windows. We started with relaxation techniques, and it was really tricky for him because he couldn't accept anything except body rub. And the body rub worked really well. And we started introducing more brain games and not so much obedience. In the beginning, we really stopped anything that has to do with obedience, except for a stay for the search games. Other than that, we cut obedience things completely because they were for that dog definitely too much. And we implemented walks in quiet areas where he could just calm down a little bit and enjoy himself and be a dog. But also we addressed his itchiness. We knew he had allergies. We didn't know if it was food related as well. So we switched to a different diet, and it took 2 weeks, and then he didn't bark at one single dog or person outside. Actually, she told me that between appointment 1 and 2, so it was actually less than 2 weeks. And this is how fast it can go. It always depends on how long the dog has been on a high stress level and how much we can cut back. Because if there is no motivation on the human side to cut back and to change a little bit and do things like cover the windows or drive the dog to quieter walking areas or whatever, change food, then it gets really tricky. And sometimes people think that this is all only an obedience thing, and if the dog hadn't learned to bark when he wants something, for example, so it's the owner's fault, then all of this wouldn't happen. And that's partially true, because yes, if we always wait for the dog to bark at us and then we pay attention to him, it's kind of spreading like wildfire. But it's never only that, especially when we have a fearful or reactive dog. And when there is fear involved, and with reactivity it almost always is, we need to address the fear as well, and we need to increase confidence in our dogs as well. It's something that takes longer than just applying some obedience, whatever, but it's more sustainable. The more possibilities a dog has to deal with situations, the more broad his horizon is in that specific area, the more nice behavior we will see, the more things we like will happen. So it always pays off. Sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zone to meet the dog's needs a little bit, but what we get out of that is a dog who is really an amazing team member, who is a perfect companion for us, who helps us relieve stress and I'd say that's worth it every single time, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. And reaching goals is often uncomfortable, but it makes us stronger. And for our dogs, it's a new level of quality of life. And for us, it's the same thing. We get a joyful, happy companion who can just do lots of fun with us. And who knows, if we get out of our comfort zone, we might discover that we like certain things as well. Like, I had clients who really were very quiet people and very soft spoken and very, calm, but not intrinsically, just on the outside. They were always concerned about what neighbors think and all those things. And they got a dog who put a huge spotlight on them. It was a young terrier with different issues, and whenever he got stressed and he didn't know how to deal with the situation, he started screaming. And they had to step out of their comfort zone and start playing with that dog because he really needed it. He was very young and very energetic, and he just was on a level where he couldn't just calmly receive single pieces of treats from a hand and be happy with it. He needed to start engaging with people with a little more action and a little more activity. And it's an opportunity, isn't it? Maybe we find out that playing with our dogs is fun. And it actually is. And it was hard for me as well in the beginning because I didn't want people to look at me. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. What matters is having a good time with our dogs and enjoying our lives with our dogs. And that's worth it every single time. So I hoped this helps you a little bit with your reactive dog. And if you need more, just write me an email or go to bravedogtrainingonline.com and book a free call. We'll see how I can help you and how can I support your dog on the journey to a calm and joyful little companion. And I'd love for you to rate and review the show and to leave me a like and a subscribe, because that way together we can help even more dog owners who just want to help their dogs. That's my mission, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. That's it. Enjoy your time with your dog, have fun together, and we'll see each other next time. Bye.